interest rate. So that makes a difference, and that accumulates each year whether you are on claim or not on claim.
Now, once these benefits start being paid, in other words, you're in long-term care, you continue paying the premiums like you do for a medical insurance policy?
Well, again, it depends on your contracts. The ones that I work with specifically waive the premium at this point in time. That is contractually how they are set up. That once you are on claim, you aren't paying premium anymore. And also that 5% compound or 5% simple interest keeps getting added to the daily benefit amount. So once you're on claim, you're getting the benefit of some inflation protection. It's not covering all the inflation protection because medical care is going up more than 5% per year.
Darn.
Yeah.
All right. How are the benefits triggered, and then how are they paid?
Okay, the benefits are triggered by losing activities of daily living. And most of the contracts have a 2 activities of daily living trigger. And those activities are bathing, eating, transferring. Can I get up from my bed in the morning and stand up? Or can I get up from my chair and stand up? Dressing, toileting, continence, and then the cognitive. Cognitive is in a class basically all of its own. As soon as you have been diagnosed with a form of dementia that is disabling you totally, then benefits are automatically triggered. The interesting part about the other activities of daily living, the bathing, dressing, toileting, transferring, is that bathing is typically, as a child, the last thing that we really are able to do for ourselves. And it seems statistically, by research, to be the first thing that we're not able to do as we age. So that says we lose our abilities to do things in the reverse order that we learned them. So it's an interesting research on that, but bathing typically is the first thing that is lost.
And that's a tough thing. Well, of course, any skill that you lose is a big frustration and it's tough for seniors. Of course, and we're seeing special equipment like these bathtubs that you can walk into with the little walls and so on. And well, like my mother has a shower that she has a seat in the shower so that she can sit up. And I don't know if she's taken very many baths in a while, because it is a big thing about just getting in and out of the bathtub. It
definitely is. Craig's parents just recently went into an assisted living facility, and they have one of those walk-in type shower situations that actually has a seat that the people that are living there can use. So I think that, yeah, technology is great, and being able to help the population as we age. There will be more things that will be needed for all of us. And the baby boomer generation isn't known for waiting for things. We're kind of a little bit on the spoiled side. When we want something, we want it now, and know that the technology is there and the capability is there, so why can't we have it?
Yeah.
As far as how policies pay, that's very specific to each policy. And it can become quite complex. But a statistic that I think is interesting about payments is I checked with 2 of the firms that I work with a lot, which is John Hancock and Genworth. And of their claims submitted, 98% of the claims are getting paid. So that tells me that they're doing a good job on their underwriting, and which is good. One of the fears I have about long-term care insurance personally is that it's a relatively new product. Do the insurance companies really know how to price the product? And have they put enough reserve aside to pay the future benefits?
Yeah, so that's one of the things related to any kind of insurance that, you know, most of us look for, okay, well, how can I provide the benefit that I want at the lowest cost? But if the insurance company doesn't have the money to pay the benefits, then all the money is lost.
That's right, and I have worked with a company now that I didn't personally write the policies, but there is a company that actually had to go into receivership
Ugh.
And it is still questioning if these individuals are going to actually end up getting benefits. The people who have paid the premiums all these years, are they actually going to get the benefits that they paid for? The letter that went out to the people that held this coverage basically was saying you can have a reduced benefit and here's your new premium. And that's scary.
Yes.
It's very scary because that says to me, well, what's to prevent them next year from writing a letter and saying you no longer have coverage?
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah, and then you're usually dealing with somebody who's already older and has health issues and was very dependent upon this policy being there for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very critical to do your due diligence on your companies.
Now, again, one of the questions was how the benefits are paid. So I guess, do the companies usually pay, for example, the care facilities, like if you're in assisted living or if you're in dementia care, do they just pay them directly, and so the family member doesn't have to submit?
Right, it is calculated. A lot of policies are written on a daily benefit basis, and right now the daily benefit that's recommended for the state of California is $230 per day. And the payment arrangement, again, is contract specific, but what I have seen is that it can be directed to go to the provider, which is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get involved with trying to figure out. You don't want to take constructive receipt of funds, and it's just easier to have it paid directly to the provider.
Yeah. As you get older, just handling this paperwork becomes a real burden, and keeping track of it. I remember going through some of this with my dad, and he had various medical policies that he was dealing with. I've got Medicare here, and I've got my former company provided thing over here, and maybe AARP, and so here's where all these things are going, and just sort of keeping track was a real headache.
It really is. Now, for people who just with their basic medical insurance, if they're at age 65 or over, they have Medicare typically, and they usually have Part A, which is the hospitalization and surgical, and then Part B, which is the physician and some surgical. And then they usually have a Medicare supplement, and then they also have a Medicare drug plan. And the choices and the complexity that we have put on our older population in making wise choices for medical care is quite immense.
Yeah. All right. Now, do employers provide long-term health care as an employee benefit?
Yes, I have worked with a number of clients that actually do have long-term care coverage available through their employer. And what I have done with that is analyze the contracts for them. The two companies that I've looked at are MetLife and John Hancock. And like you were talking about before, bits and pieces, they don't have necessarily the Cadillac type contract available, and the premiums are usually significantly less. So you, again, with each client circumstance, you look at what's best for the client here. If they can get the coverage and the underwriting is not as severe typically, they still look at medical information, but it's not quite as severe because they're looking at a group of people applying for coverage all at one time and in one enrollment period. So it's typically a little bit less emphasis on it. And the premiums are less, and the contracts are portable. Portable means that they can take them with them, and that's critical. You want it to be portable. You want to be able to take it.
Yeah.